Have you ever noticed how time and hardship act as the great revealers of character? When the storms of life roll in, some people vanish like mist at sunrise, while others reveal their true colors in ways you never expected. Adversity does not change people, it only strips away their masks. Not all words are wisdom, and not all experience leads to clarity. The loudest voices often belong to those with the least to say. If you wish to understand a person, do not listen to their promises, watch their actions in moments of conflict. The truth of one's nature is not found in their words, but in the choices they make when no one is watching. Your energy is your most valuable currency. The people you allow into your mind and heart shape your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your destiny. An intelligent person understands this well. They do not waste time trying to change the unchangeable. They do not argue with those who refuse to listen. Instead, they walk away silently, without anger, without regret. Today, we uncover the two types of people. A wise individual instinctively distances themselves from them. Recognizing them is not just about avoiding pain, it is about protecting your peace, your purpose, and your path forward. Stay with me. The sooner you learn to let go of the wrong people, the sooner you make room for the right ones. One dangerous type of person, an intelligent person, understands that fate alone does not dictate the course of life. It is shaped by the hands we choose to hold, the company we choose to keep. More than external circumstances, more than fleeting trials, it is the people around us who determine the direction of our journey. Some sharpen our minds, fortify our spirits, and push us toward wisdom. Others pull us into chaos, strip away our clarity, and weigh us down with burdens that were never ours to bear. A wise soul does not cling to relationships that dim their light. It is far better to walk alone in peace than to be entangled in the wreckage of those who thrive on conflict. Dangerous people do not arrive with warnings written across their foreheads. They do not step into your life draped in shadows or speak with voices dripping with malice. They come as friends, as lovers, as mentors, wrapped in the warmth of familiarity, cloaked in charm. At first, their presence feels reassuring, even comforting. But over time, something shifts. You find yourself more drained than uplifted. Doubt creeps in where confidence once stood. Their words, once filled with admiration, begin to carry a hidden edge, subtle critiques, veiled manipulation. The damage is not immediate, not obvious. It starts as a single crack in the foundation of your peace, but left unchecked. It spreads until the entire structure of your mind begins to crumble. Some of these people operate through deception. They twist the truth to fit their desires, creating illusions that make you question your own judgment. Others thrive on discord, unable to breathe unless the air around them is thick with tension. They pull you into battles that serve no purpose but their own amusement. And then there are those who do not destroy with a single lethal strike, but with a slow erosion, stealing your energy, your joy, your very sense of self, until one day you look in the mirror and no longer recognize who you have become. These are the most insidious, for they do not break you in an instant. They unravel you, thread by thread. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And what influences the quality of your thoughts more than the voices you surround yourself with? If your days are filled with deceit, negativity, and manipulation, no amount of inner strength will shield you from its effects. Think of your mind as a sacred garden. Every interaction plants a seed. Some grow into wisdom, others into thorns. Neglect the wrong company, and soon your mind is overrun with weeds, choking out every possibility of growth. The temptation, of course, is to hold on, to believe you can change them, to convince yourself that they do not mean harm, that perhaps you are imagining the cracks in the foundation. We cling to relationships long past their worth, out of guilt, out of nostalgia, out of the desperate hope that something worth saving remains. But as Seneca reminds us, associate with those who will make you a better person and welcome those whom you, yourself, can improve. To remain in the presence of those who corrode your peace is not loyalty, it is self-betrayal. Look to the great leaders, the philosophers, the minds that shaped history. Did they rise to wisdom by entangling themselves in petty disputes, by allowing deceitful men to whisper poison into their ears? No. They chose their confidants with precision. They guarded their energy as one would guard a priceless treasure, and when necessary, they walked away without hesitation. The greatest power is not found in fighting every battle. It is in knowing which battles are beneath you. Some people will distort reality until you no longer trust your own instincts. They will twist your words, turn your kindness into a weakness, and paint themselves as victims when you finally step away. There are those who crave control not through overt force, but through subtle domination, making you doubt your choices, belittling your victories, keeping you just uncertain enough to remain within their grasp. And then there are the betrayers, the ones who swear loyalty until the moment it is no longer convenient. They stand by your side when it benefits them, only to vanish when the winds shift. Trust is fragile. It takes years to build, moments to shatter, and sometimes a lifetime to repair. But here is the wisdom of the Stoics: confrontation is unnecessary. A wise person does not waste energy seeking revenge, proving themselves right, or changing the unchangeable. They do not rage against the storm, they simply step inside. There is no virtue in exhausting yourself for those who refuse to understand. A lion does not lower itself to bark back at dogs. A river does not argue with the stones in its path, it simply flows around them. And so too does the intelligent person refuse to seek approval from those who were never meant to walk alongside them. They turn away, not in anger, not in hatred, but with quiet certainty. To some this may seem harsh, but is it cruelty to protect your peace? Is it selfish to remove yourself from those who drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, or entangle you in their endless dramas? The world is full of people who demand your time yet disregard its value, who expect your loyalty yet offer none in return. The truly wise understand that time is life's most irreplaceable currency, too precious to be scattered among the undeserving. When you recognize such a presence in your life, the question is not if you should walk away, but how. The most powerful departure is not in words, not in grand declarations, not in emotional outbursts. It is in silence. Withdraw your engagement. Do not offer explanations. Explanations invite argument. Do not seek closure. Closure is a privilege, and not everyone deserves it. Build your boundaries like walls of stone, unyielding to guilt, unmoved by persuasion. Your well-being is justification enough. Let your absence speak what words cannot. There is a story of Crates of Thebes, the philosopher who abandoned his wealth and status to pursue a life of wisdom. When an envious rival attempted to provoke him with insults and slander, Crates did not argue. He did not defend himself. He simply walked away, unaffected. Here was a man who understood true freedom, not in the ability to conquer, but in the ability to remain untouched by the pettiness of others. Dangerous people, whether they wield power or manipulation, hold no influence over those who know the value of their own peace. Not every fight is worth engaging in. Not every betrayal deserves a response. Not every person earns a place in your life. To remove dangerous people is not an act of bitterness. It is an act of wisdom. They may plead, claiming you owe them your presence, your patience, your endurance. But you owe no one your energy if all they do is drain it. You owe no one your time if they do not respect it. And you owe no one your loyalty if they have not earned it. Epictetus, who rose from slavery to wisdom, taught us this: do not waste breath persuading those blind to your truth. Live your philosophy, and let your life be the argument. The intelligent do not beg to be understood by those who refuse to see. They walk their path knowing that the right people will walk beside them, not against them. And what a liberation it is to sever the ties that weigh you down, to step into a life unburdened, a mind unshackled from the expectations of others, a spirit free to move toward its highest potential. Walking away is not weakness, it is power. It is the understanding that your time, your energy, your tranquility are treasures too precious to be wasted. Picture yourself standing at the top of a mountain, the air crisp, the horizon stretching before you. This is the freedom that awaits when you shed those who diminish you. The greatest minds in history did not squander their years reshaping the unyielding or seeking approval from the indifferent. They honed their purpose, nurtured their peace, and let the rest fall away. And so, when you encounter someone who deceives, manipulates, or drains you, do not hesitate, do not explain, do not argue, simply walk away, not in anger, not in resentment, but in quiet, unshakable certainty. Second, wise people, an intelligent person does not simply stumble upon wisdom, they cultivate it, guard it, and wield it with intention. Wisdom is not a trophy to display or a sermon to impose. It is a quiet force, much like a river carving its way through stone, not through force, but through patience and persistence. The truly wise do not waste energy proving their intellect to the world. Instead, they turn inward, refining their thoughts, mastering their emotions, and tempering their responses to life's ever-turning tides. They understand that wisdom is not something to be poured into unwilling vessels, but a flame to be carefully tended and shared only with those who seek its light. Many people fall prey to the illusion that wisdom must be shared indiscriminately, that truth must be broadcast to the masses, that knowledge must color every conversation. But this belief is born of vanity, not virtue. True wisdom is not a torch to be thrown into the darkness for those too stubborn to open their eyes. It is a beacon, steady and unwavering, offering light only to those willing to walk toward it. Some hunger for truth, others cling to their illusions, seeking not wisdom but validation. To argue with the latter is to pour water into an already overflowing cup, fruitless and exhausting. As Epictetus once wrote, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." The wise do not waste their breath pounding on doors bolted shut by arrogance. Instead, they walk away, not in frustration, but in clarity, preserving their energy for ground more fertile. In this way, silence becomes a fortress of strength. The world is filled with those who mistake noise for knowledge, who believe victory lies in the volume of their words rather than in the depth of their understanding. But an intelligent soul knows that truth is indifferent to opinion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know the truth." A chorus of ignorance does not create wisdom, nor does the loudest voice in the room determine reality. The wise do not tether their peace to the approval of the masses. They embody their wisdom not as a performance, but as a practice, an unshakable rhythm beneath the turbulence of the world. As you walk through life, you will encounter people who drain your spirit, not always out of malice, but by the sheer weight of their presence. These are the perpetual complainers who refuse to change, the advice seekers who ignore every word they hear, the debaters who ask not to learn, but to argue. They are leeches of time and energy, offering nothing in return. A wise person recognizes these patterns early and acts decisively. They do not linger to justify their departure or announce their retreat. They simply fade from the scene, choosing serenity over the exhaustion of fruitless engagement. Consider the story of Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism. After suffering the loss of his wealth in a shipwreck, he didn't curse the heavens or lament his misfortune. Instead, he walked into Athens and sought wisdom. One day, an arrogant scholar challenged him to debate the nature of virtue, demanding that Zeno defend his beliefs against a barrage of empty rhetoric, but instead of engaging in the pointless dispute, Zeno simply smiled, nodded, and walked away. His lesson was clear: wisdom is not proven in argument, but in action. Those who are truly ready to learn do not need persuasion. They seek understanding of their own accord. The intelligent do not squander their breath on those who argue for the sake of argument. They preserve their words for those who listen with open minds, not clenched fists. This is the essence of true wisdom, not in bending others to your will, but in mastering yourself. The wise do not depend on the world to bring them peace, nor do they allow external chaos to disturb their inner stillness. They build their tranquility from within, stone by stone, thought by thought. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The intelligent do not chase fleeting rewards, praise, validation, or empty recognition. Instead, they find their richness in what they are willing to let go of: the need for approval, the burden of resentment, the illusion of control over others. To release these things is to be truly free. Yet wisdom is not only about restraint and self-mastery. It also lies in the art of discernment, knowing whom to embrace and whom to walk away from. Some, when shown the truth, turn their heads, not out of blindness, but out of fear. Acknowledging reality would require them to abandon their comfortable delusions, and so they remain trapped in their own shadows. The wise do not waste time trying to repaint such souls, nor do they cling to the hope that change will come when all evidence suggests otherwise. They accept people as they are, not as they wish them to be, and with that clarity, they move forward quietly, purposefully, leaving behind those who refuse to grow. There is an old saying: the first to apologize shows courage, the first to forgive demonstrates strength, and the first to forget finds peace. But an intelligent person knows a deeper truth: forgiveness does not require closeness. They release their grudges, for resentment is a heavy chain that binds the soul, but they do not keep close those who have shown no regard for their integrity. A mistake that humbles is better than a victory that inflates. But those who repeat their transgressions without remorse are a cycle best left unbroken. The wise forgive, yes, but they do not forget the lessons that betrayal teaches. Kindness, too, must be wielded with discretion. The line between compassion and foolishness is thin, and the wise walk it carefully. They offer a hand to those who seek to rise, but they do not cast pearls before those who will trample them. Seneca advised, "Walk with those who make you better, and lift those whom you can." There is no virtue in enduring the presence of those who twist generosity into a weakness. The intelligent invest their kindness in those who value it, people who grow, who reciprocate, who honor the exchange. To do otherwise is not nobility. It is naivety disguised as virtue. Words, like arrows, fly only once. A wise person knows their power and releases them with purpose. In a world where many speak for the sake of hearing their own voices, silence becomes a rare and powerful tool. It is said that a quiet nod can resolve more disputes than 1,000 arguments, a truth rooted not in cowardice, but in mastery. To remain unmoved by provocation is a strength few possess. The intelligent do not react to every insult, do not engage in every battle. They choose their responses carefully, knowing that peace is found not in reaction, but in restraint. Time, energy, and peace. These are the treasures of the wise, guarded with care and spent with intent. They do not enter battles out of ego, but out of necessity. They do not waste breath on those who refuse to listen, nor do they linger in places where their presence is neither valued nor needed. They choose their companions with precision, those who challenge, uplift, and reflect the best of what they seek to become, and they walk away from the rest, not out of malice, but out of wisdom. When the wise leave, they do not slam doors or seek closure. They do not make speeches or demand understanding. They simply disappear, like dusk fading into night, quiet and absolute. Some may call this cold, even cruel, but is it selfish to protect one's peace? Is it cruel to retreat from those who drain the soul, twist goodwill, or seek to entangle others in their storms? The greatest minds understand that time is life's most precious currency, and they spend it only on what enriches them. When faced with someone who refuses to grow, who rejects wisdom, who clings to ignorance, or thrives on chaos, do not argue, do not plead, do not waste yourself trying to be heard. Instead, walk away. Wisdom does not chase, it simply moves forward, and so do those who carry it. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Holding on to what is gone only allows it to control what's ahead. Regret and nostalgia weigh you down, but the wise do not dwell, they move forward. Life does not wait, and neither should you. Embrace today, not the echoes of yesterday. Challenges are not roadblocks, they are reflections of your strength. The strongest souls are not those who avoid hardship, but those who endure and rise. Complaints solve nothing, action does. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Every challenge carries a lesson. Learn it, apply it, and move forward. Anger is a fire that consumes the one who holds it. It clouds judgment, fuels regret, and steals peace. The intelligent master their reactions, knowing true power lies in restraint. In a world of noise, silence is an advantage. It is the weapon of the wise. Envy reveals more about others than it does about you. People are not jealous of you. They are jealous of your progress, your peace, your ability to move forward. Do not waste energy explaining yourself. Focus on your path, building, growing, thriving. Wisdom is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing what truly matters. It's understanding when to hold on and when to let go. If this message resonates with you, show your presence, like, subscribe, and drop 3 words in the comments. Let them go. Thank you for watching. Your future is shaped by your choices. Choose wisely, stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving forward. See you in the next video where we continue mastering life with wisdom and clarity.